Hi, and welcome to this summit. I'm Malin Pettersson-Beckeman, Head of Sustainability, Engagement and Communication at Inter IKEA Group. Thank you so much for inviting me and IKEA, giant group, to this summit where you will discuss the very important topic on how to create a sustainable future. I'm very pleased to be part of the summit and to share how IKEA, the leading global home furnishing business, works with sustainability and how we work to become people and planet positive, which is the name of our strategy. I would also like to share a little bit of why making sustainability affordable to people is so important to IKEA and how we approach it. As you might know, IKEA is one of the most well-known home furnishing brands in the world. We're actually also a big food retailer. With our roots in Sweden, in the northern part of Europe, we now have operations in more than 60 markets. And we have about 7 stores, more or less, in Taiwan, plus e-commerce. And every year we connect with millions of people across the globe. So our starting point is that sustainable living cannot be a luxury for only a few people. And today, in the wake of the pandemic and with escalating geopolitical instabilities, people with thin wallets have the hardest time affording sustainable products and services. And here, IKEA, as a global home furnishing business, has a great responsibility and a real possibility to change that. If we really want to address the big challenges such as climate change, loss of biodiversity, and wasteful consumption, we have to bring everyone in society along on this journey. And that's why making sustainable living affordable and accessible to people is so important to us. So the overall ambition for IKEA is to inspire and enable more than 1 billion people to live a better everyday life within the boundaries of the planet. And we know also from our research that most people want actually to live healthier and more sustainably, but they struggle to do so. And mainly because they find it to be too expensive, but also because there are not enough attractive solutions and they are not accessible enough. And you might not even know what to do and how to start. And we also know that most people, probably you as well, don't wake up in the morning thinking about first thing how to live sustainably. You wake up and you think about how to take care of your family, your work, your income, and your health. So sustainable living has to sort of fit into all of this. So we want to make sustainable living a reality for the many people. We simply want it to be built in. It should be easy, it should be comfortable, it should be attractive and desirable. And this is a holistic approach from IKEA. So it covers everything across our business, from how we design the IKEA range, to the resources we use and the impact we have on climate and biodiversity, and also then how our products are used and reused and taken care of at their end of life. And it's also about how we meet and interact with our customers and how we use our insights as a home furnishing business to inspire people to live more sustainable lives. Let me just give you a short overview of the IKEA business. Apologize, this slide is not the most inspirational one, but it's important and good to know that IKEA is actually a brand consisting of many companies. So we are built on a franchise system with 12 franchisees operating retail in different markets. And Inter IKEA, where I'm located, is responsible for the IKEA franchisor, the development of the IKEA range, the supply and the sourcing of the IKEA range, and certain manufacturing activities as well that we have in-house. And the franchise system was actually founded by our founder, the IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad. And the purpose is to enable this steady growth and economies of scale, and at the same time keep this entrepreneurial spirit. So we have an overarching IKEA strategic direction for sustainability set by the IKEA franchisor and Inter IKEA Group. And then all these franchisees and other entities set their own targets to deliver to our common agenda. And this enables us to keep the IKEA brand together, but at the same time it creates this possibility for entrepreneurship by the different businesses and the different franchisees. And they can also challenge us, of course, and each other. And this is a dynamic that Ingvar Kamprad was very fond of and is part of our entrepreneurial spirit. So the overarching sustainability strategy for the IKEA brand is the People and Planet Positive strategy, and it describes the sustainability agenda for the total IKEA franchise system and value chain, and it consists of ambitions and commitments leading up to 2030. And then, so that outlines how the IKEA business will have a positive impact on everyone across the value chain and for our planet as we continue to grow the IKEA business. And the purpose of the strategy is to inspire and to activate all of us across the IKEA value chain in decision making and also goal setting, so that we take people and planet into consideration in all decision making, and that we thereby, through each and every decision, contribute to achieve the big positive changes we want to see in the world. And the strategy then gives us a common roadmap to follow, and it outlines this strong long-term agenda. We have 3 focus areas in the strategy, and those have been identified based on input from the external world, where we have done a mapping of what are the key challenges where the IKEA business is expected and has a responsibility to make a difference, and where we also can, through our business operations, influence the agenda. So the 3 focus areas are enabling healthy and sustainable living, with 3 commitments below: becoming a circular and climate positive business, and then also do our full part in creating a fair and equal society that benefits the many and that also contributes to building resilient societies. And the 3 challenges here you can see that we have identified is unsustainable consumption, climate change, and increasing inequalities. And we have set this long-term agenda, and that is important, has been important for us from the very beginning, to have an agenda that is aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals that also lead up to 2030, and that we know also that the investments required and the challenges that we are addressing will require a long-term approach. It's not just incremental improvements, but big steps of improvements that we need to take together with the business and also together with other stakeholders in society. So to make sustainability affordable, we have to rethink how we do business. And we are committed to do our utmost to contributing to limiting global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees. And we have set our ambition to become climate positive by 2030. So what does this then mean? Well, it means reducing more greenhouse gas emissions in absolute terms than the full IKEA value chain emits. So scope 1, 2, and 3. While we continue to grow the IKEA business. So this is important. It's absolute reduction. It's an absolute reduction goal. And the baseline year is 2016. And we have the goal to reduce our emissions by 15% in absolute terms from across the value chain, regardless of growth, by 2030. But we are also in the process of revising our goals so that they align with the new net zero standard released by Science Based Targets initiative. So our goals should be fully aligned with science. And our ambition to become climate positive is a combined outcome of reducing the absolute greenhouse gas emissions from the IKEA value chain in line with the 1.5 degree target, while also contributing to additional reductions in society, and all of this without using carbon offsets. And we want to address the root causes of our emissions in every part of our value chain. And the main priority is to drastically reducing emissions from the IKEA value chain. And that will mainly happen by using more materials and food in the IKEA range with a lower climate footprint, and striving towards 100% renewable energy across the value chain, and our whole transformation into a circular business. This is the climate footprint from 2021. We will release new footprint in our next IKEA Sustainability and Climate Report in the beginning of the next year. And many people think that our biggest footprint comes from transport. But in reality, materials is the biggest area that we need to work on. And it all starts with you doing a detailed assessment based on science of where the footprint in your value chain sits, and then set ambitious goals for each part of the value chain, using science-based target as a baseline. And as a global business, IKEA, we don't only have a responsibility for our own operations, such as our stores, but of course also the footprint of the products that we sell and how they are used by our customers. So we need to take an end-to-end responsibility, even if some parts are more difficult to address than others. And one example, which is often sort of quite interesting to hear about, is the glue that we use in our particle boards. So particle boards is used as a material in many IKEA furniture products. And the glue today is fossil-based, and it makes up about 5% of our total footprint. So if you look at this staple chart, 5% would be from the glue, and it's part of the materials staple. So we can, of course, make a huge reduction by just developing a bio-based glue instead. And this is something that we're working on and that we hope that we will be able to solve within short. But it is really important to have as a starting point and to prioritize sustainability work, of course, to know where you have your biggest impact. And then when addressing the impact, it's more and more important as well to take a holistic perspective when addressing it. So looking at not only reducing climate footprint, but also taking the impact of biodiversity into account and the impact a change can have on people. So the social aspect of the whole transition into more net zero and a circular economy, what impact will it have for people? And in last year, the IKEA climate footprint decreased actually, but this was mainly due to a more energy efficient IKEA range and more renewable electricity in our production, and increasing the sales of plant-based food. And as I mentioned, we are now in the middle of reviewing how to implement this new net zero standard to ensure that our commitments are fully in line with with science. And we also have plans in place to address our longer-term movements and remaining challenges, such as the climate footprint of the materials used in the IKEA range. And an important aspect for us in becoming a more sustainable business, but also in making sustainable living more affordable, is circularity. It will also play a crucial role in our climate impact. So we decided to transform the IKEA business to a fully circular business by 2030. And circularity is so much more than taking back products. It starts already with the design of our products and new business models. So we have, since a couple of years, we are designing all new products from the very beginning to be repurposed, repaired, reused, or recycled, with the aim of generating as little waste as possible throughout the process. We are also adapting our supply chain to enable new services to prolong the life of products and support the flow of products and materials so they can be used and reused again and again as a valuable resource. It's all about really prolonging the life of products and materials. And then we are testing actively new ways for customers to buy used products and to have their items repaired and refurbished in stores, and to own products in different ways, such as furniture as a service. And there is a huge interest and appetite for these kind of services, but it has to be easy, and it has to be accessible and affordable, and we have to make it aspirational as well, this kind of lifestyle, together with many other brands in society. The whole circular agenda also opens up IKEA to those who might not be able to afford new products with us today, and for those who wish to care for or pass on products that they already own. We know that there's also this movement in society of decluttering your home. So we know that people don't want to be wasteful, and IKEA has to be relevant in that whole transformation. And one, of course, example of this is that our furniture has to become easier to repair, and therefore we have put a lot of investment into making spare parts, for example, more easily accessible to our customers. And so we're on our way to develop a circular product range. And to date, over 9,500 products, which is the core part of the IKEA range, has been assessed for their circular capabilities. And then to sort of stimulate the movement in society overall, we have launched an online circular product design tool on our website. So that's available for everyone, companies, customers, product developers, where we have based on our learnings provided the possibilities for designers or others to assess the circular capability of their specific products. So that everyone can use that. And it's important for a business like IKEA to try to make these a bit abstract challenges and learnings that we gain more accessible for other companies that want to be part of a transformation journey as well. So hopefully you would like to check it out, and hopefully you will find it helpful. One example is also of our own work is the iconic Billy bookcase, which has returned in a more beautiful and updated wood expression in our range lately. And now customers can more easily disassemble and reassemble the Billy bookcase. Before, when we designed the Billy bookcases, it was more for the linear economy. We didn't think from the very beginning, maybe this bookshelf a customer has to be able to disassemble and bring it with him or her to their next home, and perhaps remake it from a big bookcase to a smaller one, and all that whole flexibility of repurposing and renewing your furniture has now become a much more visible and active part in our design process. And it's also about the materials that we use. So the bookcase now for Billy, the new bookcase use paper foil instead of veneer and use less plastic compared to previous ones. And this is just one example of our work to avoid unnecessary material consumption. Other examples include the Luck table and the Plaza storage system, which use more lightweight constructions. So using wood and materials in smarter ways. So sustainable living to us includes also the materials that go into the products and how the products are produced. So our aim, and this is a very challenging ambition, is to use only renewable and recycled materials by 2030. And this will really require not only a big change for us, but in society overall, because it's simply not enough recycled materials today. The IKEA range today is based on about 50% of the product range is based on renewable materials like wood and cotton, and more than 17% contains recycled materials. And one example is last year, where we led an initiative to make new mattresses from discarded ones by using polyols from the foam. So the materials also have to be responsibly sourced. And wood is the main material for IKEA. It's really part of our identity and our heritage. And today, more than 98% come from FSC certified or recycled wood. And then having said that, all wood we use need to always meet our responsible sourcing standards for not contributing to deforestation or illegal logging. And recycled wood will play an even more important role going forward. And we have quite recently launched a forest positive agenda last year, where one of our ambitious new goals is to have 1/3 recycled wood by 2030. And today, the current level is at 14%. And overall, IKEA products will continue to include more and more recycled materials, such as aluminium, recycled plastics, and also our textiles. And all of our cotton that we use come from more sustainable sources and recycled sources. And we're also developing new solutions and products and services to enable people to live healthier and more sustainable lives. So it's both about inspiring, but also enabling people to be resource efficient in their homes. And in this area, our work is focused on 5 areas of the home where we see that IKEA can have the biggest impact in how people can reduce their environmental impact and footprint at home. So it's energy, air, water, food, and waste. And one example is the LED bulb. So almost 10 years ago, we made a decision to only sell LED light bulbs. And at the time, the LED technology was still expensive and only affordable to a few people. So we gave ourselves the challenge on how we could create an LED bulb that had a recommended retail price of only €1. And then by using our size and investing in the technology, we lowered the price to be affordable to the many people. And this has enabled millions of people globally to have a positive impact on the planet. And we have now an even more energy efficient LED bulb than we had in the past. So another area is to enable people to clean their indoor air, as air pollution is one of the biggest health challenges in the world today. And we now have a number of affordable air purifiers in our range. You see one here on the slide, and there will be more to come. And the water saving agenda is, of course, important to IKEA, where we take actions across the complete value chain and in the supply chain. But to enable our customers to save water at home, we have developed, together with a startup company, a new solution that is called Åbäcken. And it's an innovative nozzle that can be fit onto a tap, and it can lower the water flow in mist mode and spray mode. And regular taps have a water flow of about 5.7 liters per minute. And then in simple words, the Åbäcken water nozzle can save up to 95% water in mist mode and 66% in spray mode. And this example shows how IKEA, together with other innovative businesses, can develop and make extreme water saving, in this case solutions, affordable to people across the globe. It can also help and enable new behaviors among our customers. Maybe you don't need that much water to wash your hands and still have clean hands, so without compromising on functionality. And this is also important in enabling this whole transformation, that you need to change perhaps the perception sometimes of what clean hands is and what it feels like to wash your hands. We are also expanding our plant-based food offer. So our goal is to have half of the food that we offer in our restaurants to be plant-based by 2025, I believe, or if it's 2030. Anyway, we want to expand the plant-based food offer on our menu. It should be affordable and it should be delicious, because we know that people don't want to compromise on taste or quality. IKEA is actually one of the largest food providers in the world. And we believe that food is a really good entry point to people, to connect with people. And many actually are coming to the IKEA stores only to try the meatballs. They are, I think, our most still popular dish. But now we have the plant ball, and the ingredients has a climate footprint of only 4% compared to the traditional meatball, and it's still really, I challenge you, tastes the same and has the same texture. It has really been well received by customers. But again, it has to be as delicious and it has to be affordable. So IKEA has a huge responsibility to make a positive change in a world that is rapidly changing. And going forward, we are facing many challenges. Many businesses are operating in a very uncertain climate today. We will continue to deal with the effects of the pandemic, especially the impact it has on low-income workers in vulnerable communities and children who are disproportionately affected. Inequality is really on the rise and has become a systemic risk in many parts of the world. Climate change and biodiversity loss makes us, of course, even more determined to speed up our work while securing fair and equal treatment for all, with specific focus on respecting human rights across the value chain. Recently, actually last month, IKEA published an updated version of the social chapter of the IKEA sustainability strategy. And in this new Fair and Equal section, IKEA strengthened its commitment to tackle inequality and put respect for human rights as the foundation for our business operations. And this update includes strengthened commitments to contribute to more resilient societies, and with a continued focus on children, in particularly vulnerable groups. And we are introducing new areas like a just transition, securing a just transition to a net zero economy. And we have a huge opportunity and responsibility to work alongside governments to build resilient societies in which basic needs are met and equal opportunities are available to all. So, with this updated strategy, IKEA commits to play its full part in contributing to a fair and equal society by respecting human rights, creating a positive impact for people across the value chain, and contributing to resilient societies. And our responsibility includes everyone in the IKEA value chain: co-workers as business partners, and people working in other parts of the IKEA value chain, customers and families, as well as the communities, of course, where we operate. And this is my final slide. So through our business, we have a unique opportunity to drive change in the right direction. And for us, it's about balancing economic growth, positive social impact with environmental protection and regeneration. And going forward, we will need to become even more ambitious and vocal on what this means for IKEA. And we will have to work together with others. We want to share our knowledge and co-create solutions. The vision of IKEA is to create a better everyday life for the many people. And to live up to this, we will do our utmost to inspire changes in lifestyles and consumption. And we will change our way of working from linear to circular and from consuming to regenerating resources. And we aim to lead by example and, of course, listen and learn from others as well, from all parts of societies. Thank you so much for listening today.